Ladies and gentlemen, the British Mark III Bren gun. This is a Mark III Bren LMG chambered in 303 British. The Bren machine gun has had an extremely long service life, all the way starting in right after the end of World War I, even late into the Cold War. This particular one manufactured in 1955, so this is a much later model than the World War II style Mark IIs, Mark Is. However, it's still chambered in the 303 British caliber, which is the original round that the Bren was chambered in. So how the Bren came to be was right after World War I, the British were looking for a new service light machine gun. They had had the Lewis gun and the Vickers, and as you can see, the Lewis gun is a extremely heavy, extremely big, doesn't look fun to run around the trenches with or across no man's land with. So, and obviously the Vickers is like not even really portable other than being mounted somewhere. So the British Army was like, all right, we need something that's going to be able to maneuver very quickly, be lighter, and what they found was the VZ-26. And the British really liked it. They liked how it was magazine fed. They liked how it was much lighter than any of the guns that they had. It was a lot more maneuverable. And so they had designers create a version of that took their ammo, 303 British, and met their standard requirements. One of the things was they wanted a quick change barrel, they wanted it to be magazine fed, and they wanted it to be select fire. In the front, you can see that there's a bipod. They have a carry handle / commando grip, which is actually pretty manageable. As you can see, I'm standing there shooting it, and it's a lot more comfortable mounted somewhere, but it's not impossible to shoot it just straight up. They went into production in the late 30s, and the British manufactured a lot of the Bren Mark Is, which were used throughout World War II, which is what you mainly see. And then they came out with cheaper models like the Mark II, which was easier to manufacture, and then the Mark III, which is what you're seeing right now. And they even later on, when NATO started to standardize their calibers, they made conversion Brens that shot 7.62 by 51 NATO. A lot harder to do because, again, the 303 round is a rimmed cartridge, which basically means that there's a rim for the bolt to catch onto, and it makes it a lot more different changing it from a non-rimmed to or rimmed to a non-rimmed. You see this gun everywhere in the movies. It's in plenty of World War II movies, but specifically there is a movie that this is very well known for, the Siege of Jadotville, which is a great movie in my opinion. They get pretty much all the guns correct. I mean, actually all the guns are correct. There's pretty much no inaccuracies when it comes to it, but there is a scene where the sniper is using his Lee Enfield Mark IV or something like that, where it has a scope, it has a cheek rest, and like a sniper rifle. And he decides to take out this bad guy, and for whatever reason, he drops his perfectly good rifle and brings a Bren.
Bren on a single shot! I need the Bren!
Which again shoots the exact same caliber. Essentially, a Lee Enfield isn't gas operated. So you have more power, more velocity, less interruption to the process of the bullet. However, on the Bren, it's gas operated, so it has a hole right here where you have gas getting vented off, and it's going to be less overall accurate for him because he's expecting it to drop more because he's been shooting that, but who knows. But anyway, the more important detail is on a Bren. The reason that open bolt machine guns are inaccurate is not because it affects the bullet or the barrel. The reason it is inaccurate is because the bolt is slamming forward. When you pull the trigger, the bolt's gonna go forward. If it goes forward and hits the trunnion of the gun, it's gonna glug this way. So if you're trying to shoot at a target and the gun's constantly going like this, it's gonna be inaccurate. And in that specific scene, he loads the round and the bolt's back and he fires. That bolt is gonna fly forward and drop the gun. And again, he makes a shot because it's a movie, but that would have been a lot easier to do with the Lee Enfield than the Bren. Just a small little side tangent that I thought I'd touch on while I have this. So anyway, all in all, this is a really cool gun, and thank you guys so much for watching and staying to the end. I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.